Hey there, gamers! Today, we're diving into the iconic N64 with 64 mind-blowing fast facts. Let's go! The N64 was released in 1996 and marked Nintendo's first 3D gaming console. Its original name was Ultra 64, but it got changed to N64 later. The N64 controller introduced the innovative analog stick for precise movement. GoldenEye 007 became a legendary FPS game and defined multiplayer gaming. Super Mario 64 set a new standard for 3D platformers with its vast, open-world design. The N64's cartridges were criticized for limited storage compared to CDs. The Rumble Pak added vibration feedback for a more immersive gaming experience. The N64 had popular multiplayer games like Mario Kart 64 and Super Smash Bros. The console featured a unique cartridge design with a memorable click sound Zelda fans fell in love with. Ocarina of Time, often considered one of the best games ever. N64 was home to innovative titles like Banjo-Kazooie and Diddy Racing. The N64 expansion pack enhanced graphics and allowed larger game worlds. Donkey Kong 64 required the expansion pack for extra content and improved visuals. The console's 4-player capability was revolutionary for social gaming. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards was the first Kirby game on the N64. The N64 had a Japan-exclusive disc drive add-on for additional games. Pilotwings 64 introduced players to the joys of flying with various vehicles. Star Fox 64 wowed gamers with voice acting and branching paths. The N64 was home to Rare's Battletoads franchise with Battletoads Arcade. Turok: Dinosaur Hunter was one of the first FPS games on the system. F-Zero X pushed the console's graphical limits with fast-paced racing action. The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask used a real-time clock and 3-day cycle. N64 featured unconventional games like Space Station Silicon Valley and Mischief Makers. Conker's Bad Fur Day stood out for its mature humor and irreverent style. The console offered various controller colors, including the iconic Pikachu edition. Perfect Dark expanded on GoldenEye's success with deeper gameplay and story. The N64 had a Japan-exclusive game, Animal Forest, which inspired Animal Crossing. The Nintendo 64 was the first home console to have 4 controller ports. Banjo-Tooie continued the adventures of the beloved bear and bird duo. Jet Force Gemini mixed shooting and exploration in a vast universe. The N64 introduced the concept of Rumble Pak required for certain games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater brought skateboarding fun to the N64. N64 had a memory card called Controller Pak for saving game data. NFL Blitz wowed fans with over-the-top football gameplay. Yoshi's Story charmed players with its colorful and cute aesthetic. The N64 had several wrestling games, including WWF No Mercy and WCW, and Well Revenge. The N64 featured 480i resolution, providing clearer visuals on compatible TVs. The quirky game Chameleon Twist starred a chameleon with a long, sticky tongue. Mario Party brought friends together for a virtual board game party. N64's Duke Nukem 64 had unique content compared to other versions. The console's transfer pack allowed players to transfer Pac-Man between games. Excitebike 64 combined classic NES racing with 3D graphics. Pac-Man Snap was a photography game featuring pocket monsters in their natural habitat. N64's Tetrasphere added a 3D twist to the classic puzzle game. The N64 released only in Japan and had limited success. Mace: The Dark Age was a lesser-known fighting game with medieval warriors. N64 had a variety of rail shooters, like Star Wars, Rogue Squadron, Clay Fighter 63, and a third parodied fighting games with wacky characters. Harvest Moon 64 offered a unique farming simulation experience. Beetle Adventure Racing stood out with its creative tracks, and VW Beetles. The console's power supply required an external power brick. The first-person shooter Turok 2, Seeds of Evil featured huge levels to explore. Glass Cores challenged players to demolish buildings with a variety of vehicles. International Superstar Soccer 64 was a critically acclaimed soccer game. The N64 had a diverse library with puzzle games like Puyo Puyo Sun, Snowboard Kids brought cute characters and snowboarding action to the console. Gommon's Great Adventure had an entertaining mix of platforming and RPG elements. N64 featured a Japan-exclusive game, Sin and Punishment, praised for its gameplay. Space Invaders returned on the N64 with modern 3D graphics. The console's unique sound chip gave rise to memorable game music. Rakuga Kids was a bizarre fighting game featuring hand-drawn characters. Top Gear Rally provided intense racing action on various terrains. Ogre Battle 64 offered a deep tactical RPG experience. The Nintendo 64 holds a special place in gamers' hearts as a nostalgic classic. Thanks for joining us on this N64 adventure. Smash that like button, subscribe for more gaming content, and stay tuned for the next video. Game on!